I'm Emily Freeman, and this is Off the Record. In this series, I'm going through sort of behind-the-scenes look of writing DevOps for Dummies and helping you understand what went on as I was writing it, the struggles I had, what I was thinking, and most importantly, how you can benefit. When I first sat down to write DevOps for Dummies, it was overwhelming. And I really struggled with who my audience was going to be. I knew it needed to be somewhat specific, right? And it couldn't just be my mom, as much as I. So I started thinking, who would benefit most from this book? And for me, I kept thinking about this CIO of a small insurance company in Hartford, Connecticut, with security and compliance concerns, who was working with legacy code and legacy infrastructure. This is not a system that's cloud native or fancy or greenfield. It's messy. There's spaghetti code. There's pieces of the code base no one touches anymore. It's been roped off into what's now called the engine that basically powers the whole thing. If this feels familiar, it's because a lot of us are in this situation. I fell into DevOps by accident. I like to joke that I'm from the dev side of DevOps because it's true. When I first discovered this methodology, I was a backend engineer in Java. And it was at that job at a startup that I experienced my first truly infuriating experience with an ops team. I had written a feature that impacted the hero images for the site. Hero images are those massive images you usually see on homepages. Well, a bug got deployed to production because nothing about this company was DevOps in any sense of the imagination, and there was definitely not a test suite. So a customer reported the bug, and obviously it landed back at my desk, which, I was cool as a cucumber, right? No, I was completely freaked out. I was a junior engineer, I was the only woman on the team, and imposter syndrome run amok. I was sweating at my desk trying to figure out what I did wrong, digging into the code, looking at everything I could, when I realized, wait a minute, this isn't my problem. This is a CDN issue. So, as all developers do, I logged in and I started looking for the logs. Only, wait a minute, I didn't have access to the logs. Not even read-only access to logs. So I got up off my desk and I walked over to the ops side of the house. Air knocked, we were in cubicles. I remember how frustrated this man was with me, how irritated he was that I would walk over and bother him. Now, in his defense, he was completely overworked. It was one of these situations where two ops people support dozens of developers. So after being on call 24/7 for months at a time, he was a little bit grumpy. And who can blame him, really? But I kept thinking, here I am trying to fix this problem that's impacting customers, and you are my human blocker. After another friction point and angry conversation, I went into a closet and I angry typed this abstract. It was my first talk abstract. Humpty Dumpty, a story of DevOps gone wrong. Looking back, I should probably buy this guy some wine. He kicked off my whole career. But I think a lot about that incident and the people that I wrote this book for. It's typically people who have heard of DevOps, but maybe don't know exactly where to start, or maybe their companies do the DevOps, but not really. Like, maybe they hold post-incident reviews, or they do things like in an agile way, but not quite all the way, right? There's still this friction between developers and operations folks. There's still a separation, and there's still communication barriers. If you're someone who works in one of these organizations and you're struggling and you're frustrated and you don't know what to do next, this book is for you. That is why I wrote DevOps for Dummies. It's a step-by-step guide to a DevOps transformation. And I want to be clear here, right? DevOps isn't a silver bullet, but I truly believe that it can make an impact for your organization and for you. And it's for that reason that I hope you actually read the book. In the next video, I'll walk you through how I sort of organized the book and how you can get the most from DevOps for Dummies. Thank you for joining. If you want to get the whole series, please click subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter @editingemily, and don't forget to buy the book. Thanks.